Now we choose to think different.
Welcome to the show with your friend and mine. So tell me, Dr. Squee, who's it gonna be this time? We like to hear you talk, and we love to hear you listen. And if you are not subscribed, you won't know what you're missing. So welcome to the Dr. Squee Show. Welcome to the Dr. Squee Show. Welcome to the Dr. Squee Show. Headphones up. Here we go.
Hello and welcome to the Dr. Squee Show. This is going to be the intro to all the videos from Squeefest. You can donate to the Owl Centre charity. So the Owl Centre charity, actually I'll give them their URL first. So it's theowl.org. I don't know what you're going to be watching here. It could be a comedian. It could be an expert from around the world. But I hope you enjoy these interviews. And please, if you can afford, and please do look up the Owl. If you go to justgiving.com/page/thinkowl, I think it works without the page bit, but you might need to put it in there. Either way, please donate whatever you can if you can afford to. And if you go to drsquee.bandcamp.com, that's DOCTOR, full word, SQUE.bandcamp.com. And the only thing there is the Squeefest single. So anyway, we are currently at £425 raised for the Owl Centre charity. Thank you so much, guys. Anyway, guys, that's the sales pitch. Please enjoy this week's interview. The show started late before, but I think this is the first time I've been late welcoming a guest because I played a video of a song I'm in. I'm pretty sure that's the first. Please welcome to the Dr. Squee Show, our friend Ray O'Leary. How are you doing, Ray?
Hello, hello. Oh, thank you for having me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I love the fact we were greeted with Garfield there.
Yes. Yeah, it's my mum. She once got me a Garfield mug for Christmas, thinking his sardonic nature would appeal to me. But I loathe the Garfield comics, and so then sort of every Christmas subsequently, she sort of bought more and more Garfield mugs as a joke. So I have another one here actually as well.
That one kind of matches your suit, which is kind of punking you on a new level.
Yes, I know. Yeah, it's cruel to be kind, but it's kind of sweet. But yeah, she has about at least 6 Garfield mugs at her house, I think now. But yes, no, that is very funny. To be late because the host wanted to do their own rap of
basically, yeah. I'm pretty sure none of this is actually happening, and I've got quite a few data points which suggest this. So, first of all, I was due to be interviewing Nana Visitor, who was in Star Trek Deep Space Nine. I'm a huge Star Trek fan. That was just weird to begin with.
Yeah. Then
she had some family issues, so she couldn't come. Then I ended up playing this video, which I recorded. I was going to play it in snippets, but since we had the longer time, it's me and my friend who worked out I had ADHD. And it's just us talking about that and her diagnosis and everything. And but it was kind of like, it was like a kind of therapy session between me and my friend, and it was an act of honesty to play this for everyone. But I wasn't expecting to watch it back, and especially not in that volume. And it got to about the 55th minute, and I was like, I can't talk to Ray after this directly. I need some sort of buffer. And so I paused that, and I was thinking, oh, the video is only about 5 minutes long. And yeah, it's not. This all seems surreal. Yeah, and I'm in a rap video. Yes, because that happened. Sure. Yeah. I didn't die on the table that time.
But yes, no, fantastic. No. But congrats on the stream, though. So you're nearly 5 hours in now?
No. This is the second stream. So,
of course.
13 hours
13,
in.
Lord.
Due to Facebook streaming things, you can only go for 8 hours at a time. So I split into 3 streams. But yeah, I'm over the halfway hump. I'm just holding on to that because I mean, as well as all this, I'm also, because I've got muscle nerve pain.
Yeah.
I'm on some quite strong painkillers at the moment.
Oh, wow.
And I found myself also, because ADHD. I found myself painting my nails while I was watching me in therapy.
Well,
Definitely none of that happened. I mean, just that didn't happen.
fantastic. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad. I hope my sonorific, my voice doesn't lull you into sleep into hour 13 of your
Damn
stream.
it is very soothing now you mention it.
Yes, no, but thank you for having me.
No, it's great to catch up. I actually watched back our other chat while I was preparing some things for today,
Oh,
and I watched your special. It is such a weird turn of events that it seems like the cool place to drop your special is YouTube now. You get more money for the artists, but I never thought it would go from Netflix when they for a little while took over that mantle from Comedy Central, basically. And you know the special moves around, but it's the same honorific, and now that seems to be going towards YouTube.
Yeah. I mean, it is interesting. I mean, I guess the term special came back from, I guess, when American comics used to release their specials on HBO, you know, and I suppose back then it was special because you know you're lucky if you got one a lifetime, you know, an hour on HBO. But yeah, and it seems now listening to the way comedians in the industry talk, it does seem like people have sort of settled on either you want your special to be on Netflix or YouTube, and that's sort of the position. And I think maybe Netflix will potentially buy it from you, so you know you can make money from it that way. But I don't know personally how much they spend on specials. I mean, you know, I know Dave Chappelle's doing quite well, but I don't know if I don't know how much they pay. And even now, I mean, when you go on Netflix, there's so much content on there, and I'm sure if you search up stand up, there's there'll be hundreds of specials. So even I imagine being on Netflix now, maybe it's maybe it could still be hard to be discovered on there. But yeah, it seems like it's sort of like I listened to a comic talk whose special. Maybe it was released on Showtime, or it was released on something that wasn't Netflix or YouTube, and he said it might well have been called "If a Tree Falls in a Forest and No One's Around to Hear It," which is and Nate Bargatze's spoken of the same thing, that he had a special on Comedy Central, and then he got a special on Netflix, and I think the Netflix special really increased the amount of audience he had. And then as an encore for his show, he would go and do material from his Comedy Central special, which everyone just thought was new material that was just amazing. But he was like, no, this is stuff I've been working on for years. It's just no one's seen it because it was on Comedy Central. So yeah, it's interesting how the industry's changed.
Nate Bargatze, he has the funniest sketch on SNL, which he kind of repeated once, which was when Washington's telling of his dream to the men. It's just the funniest thing, like weights and measurements is like
it's fantastic. And I remember and Keenan says something like, and what about us African Americans? And he just sort of brushes
you asked about yard arms. No, I didn't.
He's a very, very strong comic, incredible, but and I think maybe he's on Amazon Prime, and he's probably in a situation now where he himself is big enough that it maybe it doesn't matter what platform his specials are on, because probably his fans will still seek it out, or will find him. But it is interesting hearing about comics talking about it. And also it was interesting, again, I was listening to an interview with Mike Birbiglia, who's a great comic, does a lot of long stand-up shows or one-man shows, and he says that I guess still the way comic stand-up you make money is by live touring. That's still the thing. You don't I guess you don't cash out by selling your special to a streamer or uploading it on YouTube. That's maybe you'll make a little bit of money that way, but the main way is still going out on the road and doing live performances, which is not nice to hear.
But it's I mean, I think it does serve still as well when you you just toured the UK. If kind of a special catches wind, that's a really nice way of introducing yourself to a new audience. It's nice that it just gets it across the world. I don't think YouTube's got too many geo-locked things.
No, yeah, no. I think maybe one of my Facebook videos is locked because there's a I don't know in which countries it's blocked, but I know I have one video that's been claimed to have music in it that's been copyrighted by one country, but there's no music in the video, and I don't know how to remove the geo block. But yeah,
I'm sorry, my voice just sounds like a 70s Spanish hit one time.
It's just the natural lilt of my voice. It can easily be mistaken for Shakira or Celine Dion, and you know.
So you're not going to get better. Shakira's the perfect one.
Yes. I did a karaoke show that was like this. It was over Zoom and it was live streamed, and and one of the streams got taken down because one of the singers was so good. They assumed that her karaoke performance was actually the live track being played, and the algorithm shut the stream down. And then when I sung "Crazy Frog" on the stream, there was no similar issues. They did not shut down the stream for my beautiful voice.
So I shouldn't take it as an insult that no one's tried to claim ownership over my rap. Like, no, they go, no, you can have that one, please. We don't want it.
I think I could, if you want, I could claim I'm Eminem and send an email in to. And try
there
to
is
get
a
this
bit where it's
taken
like
down.
ADHD, but it's just me, and I did a little homage in that to him. So yeah, you could take it down for that. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, but yeah, and also yes. So you're saying about this? Yes. I'm going to go to Edinburgh in 2 months now, or a month away. You know, it starts end of July. Yes, I'll be back in the UK. But yeah, so I guess the idea is always, you know, if you put something out on the internet, hopefully, you know, more people see it from around the world. And also now, you know, we live in an age, you know, it used to be, I guess, the special itself. And I mean, still artistically, you want the special as a whole to be, you know, good, and, you know, you want the special to be good. But more and more, what's becoming important, it seems, is being able to clip up small parts of it and be able to post those in short clips on social media. And that is the new way of getting fans and, you know, helping people discover you from around the world and things like that. And that's just the
I love the fact that with your act, though, there aren't a lot of natural breaks. I think a whole special could go up there, and it's like, sorry, this was the most we could clip it. We just took the credits off.
Yes. I always do try that, like when I do you know, filmed gala spots or television spots. I'm lucky to have done a few, but I always try and talk about one topic for the whole time. And I think, I do think that creates it makes it a lot harder to edit down into funky 1 minute clips or I don't know what the optimal length is for a social media clip, but
I mean, it's like in a surreal fashion, it is. I would class what you do in the realm of storytelling.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I always find it quite difficult to write stories, but thank you. I appreciate it.
I think it's the fact that you're teaching us about the kind of character you're playing, but through kind of like when you turn around and you're just talking right into the microphone, but with your back facing the audience. It's just I feel like you're telling a story about this character that you're inhabiting on stage.
That's good. Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah. I do. I do try to do things like that, and I do. Yes, I do try to think very hard about the character I'm portraying on stage, and I always want it to come across sort of like it's almost an accident that I'm on stage. You know, like this is a man who clearly doesn't belong here, and he shouldn't be here. And it seems like he's not really sure why he's there. Like, you know, it's like, you know, he was an accountant who's taken a wrong turn backstage and has accidentally walked onto the stage and now has to do a performance. Or that's all sort of.
As someone who's suffered with anxiety over the years, I just assume you just let that side of you go and just walk on stage. Like,
yeah, I mean, a little bit. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely there when you're backstage, and it hasn't gone away, the anxiety. I mean, if there's anyone watching or listening who feels, you know, nervous or gets stage fright or things like that, like that's very, very normal. So I mean, I wouldn't listen to that as a sign not to do it. But the unfortunate thing is, it doesn't appear to go away. Maybe you become better at managing it or dealing with it, and then, but it's still
And he's
always
talking about being a stand-up, not about anxiety here.
yeah.
It never goes away. You can't get cured for it.
Yeah, you can't get. I would suggest giving up now. Definitely, do not give money to the charity. There's no hope. This is the best you can do.
Now this is one of the most times this will apply. I've said this many times in stream. I'll say it many times more. But it'll never be as apt as when I say the views of the guests do not necessarily reflect the views of the Owl Charities Centre.
The charity
donate is very much against their message and mine. Sorry, I interrupted your lovely thing you were on there with a silly joke.
Oh yes, no. Sorry, yes, no. Well, I interrupted myself with a silly joke. I was just sort of talking about just stage fright. I guess just sort of. It's interesting that it doesn't. I mean, there are times where it goes away. Where like I don't know, if you've done multiple shows in a night, so you're already kind of broken the seal, as it were, or you've already been on stage once, so you're probably not going to happen again, or maybe you've been doing the show multiple days in a row, so by the sixth day you're like, okay, I know the show in my head, and it's kind of now it's becoming a pattern. That does
I get that from doing plays. It's
exactly.
Yeah. When you're on night 6, it's not the same as night 1. You just on the last night you just hope it goes at least as good as the best night.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, you're in the same venue at the same time, at the roughly same conditions, doing the same stuff, and those things do take care of the stage fright. But unfortunately, I find at least that my stage fright has never truly gone away, and it will still rear its head. I think there are times where I feel I can feel more confident about it, but there's always an element. There's always a time before I go on stage, I think, where I feel nervous, where I'm like, and I'm worried, am I going to forget something out there, or are they going to hate it, or there's always a moment.
I mean, I think it's something which is one of the changes I've noticed since I've been on the medication. It's like I realized I was stopped going towards situations which felt scary or were going to push me out of my comfort zone, because I was just so used to, like, every time I try to learn something, people saying I was wrong, or when I said something, they'd kind of take something I didn't mean from it, and no matter how much you say, it's like, oh no, actually I meant this. What I meant was this, and I love it when they come back with, it's like, no, you didn't. It's like, sorry, you're right. You know my mind better than me. My bad. And knowing there's a reason for that really helps. But it's like I don't know. I'm just really going after new experiences at the moment. It's like kind of good nerves I feel when I go on stage. It's like I do feel nervous, but it's like that's part of the juice that makes it exciting and that makes you good on stage, I think, if you can harness it correctly.
Yes. I mean, just to go back to what you're saying there, if you're trying something new, if for anyone watching, it's important to know if you're not immediately the best at something that you've never done before, then you should just give it up. There's no, if you're not the best straight away, then obviously there's no point in even trying.
Yeah, I know that's my new philosophy. Try it once, then no, don't. I'm out. If I'm not going to be winning the Perrier Award, whatever the hell they call it now, I'm not interested in stand up.
100%. Perfect attitude.
The worst thing is I am sort of talking myself into doing stand up scene. I think it's going to happen.
Yes, because I was going to say when you're talking about live performances, you do a lot of hosting and things like that, right? But not necessarily per se stand up.
No, it's I don't know. I feel like now when I look at things and some of the interview stuff, and I think there was I don't know. I think I've always kind of been trying to write stuff in my head, but I've just never put it together or kind of. It was really weird actually. Before I was diagnosed, and let's say I found kind of out more about how I work best. Mm-hmm. For some reason, no matter how much a fan of stand-up I was, it never interested me, and I think it was just pure fear. Had it even blocked from me that I was scared. It was like, I don't want to do that. And I think it was just my brain justifying me not doing it.
Yeah. Wow. All these things going on in the subconscious that you weren't even aware of.
I mean, that's from like still to this day after diagnosis, just it seems like every day. And it's a weird thing. Like my brain can sometimes give me a thought fully formed. Like it feels weird because usually I form thoughts the way everyone else does to you. You think it through, one thought goes on top of another, and you get somewhere. When they come in fully formed, it's kind of like, why? But it's, you know, I'll be typing out an email and it'll go, do you know when you were 5 and you had this experience, that person was really just feeling scared themselves. So really you shouldn't feel afraid of these moments when they would just kind of pass that on to you. It's like, I was sending an email about Squeefest. Who am I sending to? What's happening? And it's, it doesn't happen on any kind of convenient schedule.
Yes, I noticed your emails had quite a sort of therapeutic tone to them as you sort of poured your heart out to me about your childhood experiences. No, there's yeah. So what I was going to say,
that felt really just going to say that felt really important doing this, like with my therapy session with my friend, which again, it's a mistake to watch. I'm going to be honest, but yeah, it was all about like, if I'm going to ask people to talk on this, ask experts on, and people's been so open with their stories. Like you got to bring it yourself if you're going to ask for that, I think.
Yes. But what was I going to say? If you I mean, if you are performing live on stage and you are, you know, being funny, I mean, that is a form of stand-up comedy. So I mean, if you are nervous about doing it, I guess there's an element of you can feel relief knowing, well, in a sense, I have already done it. So so you have you know, so no, I mean, hopefully, I mean, the next time is less. You know, if you want to do it, or hopefully that would mean, your next time is less scary because, you know, I mean, basically you have done it. You've been on stage hosting, being fun. I mean, that is what stand-up comedy is.
I think the thing that I haven't done so much of is stuff of my own on stage, and yeah, I'm completely up for it. But it's like previously it was a lot of interviewing which I was doing on stage, so you have someone there when you're doing that. A little bit of hosting, but mostly it was just like, here's the next act kind of stuff. I have done some where I kind of chat for a few minutes. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting more and more comfortable with it. I've one thing which I have done before is every now and again I like to do a podcast solo, just me just talking, yeah, that's probably the most nervous I feel before doing one, but it's so exciting when I'm doing it, and always my kind of ADHD like latched onto the endorphins that gives out, and just my talking comes very naturally.
Oh, amazing! But yes, no, very good, very good. Oh, there's oh no, that's what I was going to say. Sorry, trying to think. You know, talking about what you were saying before about how you were sort of afraid to do it, and you weren't even aware that you were afraid. I do think that happens to a lot of people. Like, I do think, I mean, most people who want to do stand-up comedy, they tend to like. Well, I mean, they fall into two categories. I find they either have never watched stand-up really before in their life, but they just want to do it for whatever reason, or they just. And I think this is more common. They love it, you know, and you know they watch a lot of it, or they have seen it. And there's a lot of respect there, I guess, maybe for the art form. And I think that is, in part, what makes people hesitant to do it, is because they appreciate it so much and they know it's and yeah, like the people who, like when you see people at an open mic, the worst people are always the people who just sort of get up and are like, oh yeah, how hard can it be? Like, I'm funny around my mates, like I, you know, and they and then they, you know, they get up and they try, and then 2 lines in they realize, oh, this is not the same as talking, you know, talking to my mates. These are, most of these people are strangers. They don't care, you know. They don't. There's not the same friendly, you know. There's not the same level of support maybe, or buy-in. Whereas, the people who I think really respect stand-up are the kinds of people who are too scared to do it for a long time because they know, oh, I might be bad at this because this is a lot harder than you know, Jerry Seinfeld makes it seem, or you know, whoever.
Yeah, there's a friend of mine who I do the I've done a few game shows and talks about Star Trek before with a friend of mine. Yeah, we did this new game show which we're trying to kind of pitch out to sci-fi events at the moment. And he did his first
a sci-fi game show.
Yeah, so it's called Trek Species Showdown, and 2 teams, they have to pick a Star Trek race each. we reach out to them in advance, and we then pitch those two alien races from Star Trek. You're not allowed to pick humans or any godlike races, like so no cues. And then we put them in some very silly competitions. So like one was the Gorn was the lizard creatures from the original series, and you've got to take out the Gorn, and then we let it hold in the air for a second. And it's like, oh, when we say take out, you do understand we mean, and like blind date comes on the screen. So you've got to take out the Gorn. You've got to woo the Gorn through a series of questions that the Gorn asks you. And my friend speaks Gornese, so he like the Gorn whispers in his ear. It just so much fun. We purposely made it so silly that if someone's dragged along by their partner, they're at the sci-fi event, but they're not into Star Trek really, that anyone could. So like the final challenge was, because the idea is it always ends in tiebreaker. And the tiebreaker this time was to honor both races. We had the spoon for the Kardashian foreheads. I've got these kind of spoons there. And with
did you say Kardashian?
Cardassians, race from Star Trek. Kardashians, yeah. Well, we did play on that joke rather a few times in the evening. But yeah, and the final challenge, because they've got spoons on their heads, like the shape like a spoon. And the Klingons, their heads have been compared to a Cornish pasty over here. So we got, they had to speed eat a Cornish pasty with a spoon. It was a little teaspoon. And one of the guys got the meat sweats, which they declared in a very high pitched voice you could only get when you've got the meat sweats, I think, because that is not his usual voice. But it was just so silly. It's like anyone could just walk in and just have a laugh, even if they know nothing about Star Trek. And if you do, we also put in the kind of deep cut jokes for them.
Yeah, great.
But my friend, he just did stand up for the first time. I went to see him. It's called Ultra Comedy. Mm-hmm. And they take some people who want to try stand up. They take them through a course, and then they do 5 minutes each as part of an act, which we're all invited to, which I went along to see. He absolutely crushed it, and I think he did a really good job of that sort of thing. So it's like he would relate. It was a geeky set, but he would relate it to people from my childhood being cancelled because of allegations. He was talking about going down the tip with all the kind of CDs and DVDs, and he slipped in geek stuff through that. So I think he brought the non-geeks along with him, which was really great.
Fantastic. Is it because you're based in Southampton?
I'm actually now just down the road in Romsey. So I moved back in to help my mum. She's had a few falls. So I'm part-time caring for her. I'm just waiting for the nerve damage to hopefully come down, and I'm gainfully looking for work in the arts. So it's really lovely not to have the 9 to 5 anymore. That just did not suit me.
Yes, and then I was going to ask: is there much of a comedy scene where you are?
Actually, funny you say that. When I was growing up, there never used to be anything like that. You would have to go to Southampton. There is a decent comedy scene there. It's a bit more refugee status than it once was. That used to have like a couple of comedy venues. Now it's just apart from the Attic, which is down Tottenham Way, so that's a bit out of Southampton, but fantastic venue.
Yes, great venue.
If they opened one up in town, I reckon they'd kill. Like they bring in the right, they're always bringing consistent good acts. So I'm in Romsey now again, which is where I grew up. And there used to be nothing here for anyone under the age of 80. But now they've kind of got like the Plaza is this really old school theatre. And it was the first one I was ever on stage on. I actually got my publicity photos taken in there. They allowed me to see that. And they have comedy nights in there. And there's a few pubs which host some comedy nights. So surprisingly a lot, actually.
Yes. Oh, that's great. That sounds. And it sounds more lively than my hometown. What's the population there?
Oh, in Romsey, it is still an older population. It's very beautiful, very scenic. It's got a lovely park, which has got this World War II tank in it, permanently on display. It's very scenic. It's a lot of money comes into here because there's quite a few rich people in this area, so that's where everyone's taxpayer money goes to places which the rich like. Sorry, I don't make the system up, guys. I'm not one of the rich. I just happen to live in the same town as them.
Sorry, that's a photo behind you, right? Sorry, the woman behind the there's like some
Yeah.
bush. Yeah, sorry.
That's Penn from Penn and Teller. No, it's before he lost the weight and cut his hair shorter. He did this film called Director's Cut, and this was on the little freebie extras with it.
Sorry, you just mentioned your mum and stuff, and then I looked behind you and I thought, is that a woman? Is that his mum just peering out?
This isn't the Bates Motel kind of vibes here.
Yeah.
And by the way, there's nothing weird about the monkey with the rabbit ears either.
It's
just perfectly normal.
There's just an above board monkey with rabbit ears.
Yeah, it's Coop, named for the Twin Peaks character, because it was just after when Lynch died that I got Coop there. So, you know.
Wow. Named after Detective
Cooper.
Yeah, so that's a damn fine cup of coffee.
Amazing show. Absolutely loved it.
Yes, fantastic show. Yes.
So, it's lovely little chinwag. But I was going to ask about. Oh, actually, no. Sorry, I have to inform you of something first. I don't know how I could let this slip my attention. It's something which has been hanging over us. I know you fellas, I have since we last talked. Your age is verified on Wikipedia now.
It is.
And we are now a point of verification. This is the first time the Dr. Squee show has verified anything. And I did it for you, my friend.
Oh, really?
For anyone who didn't catch the last time we chatted, so Ray's wiki had his ages either 34 or 35 and years, between 2 years. And I got Ray to confirm it live on the last time we spoke. So it's corrected.
There we go. Holy moly! Well, yes, I must say, I mean, I didn't make my Wikipedia page, which is maybe hard to believe for some out there. But I remember getting sent to me by a friend of mine found it, and I must say, when you first realize you have one, it is quite shocking because you're like, oh wow, I didn't realize how thorough people were out on the internet. I mean, of course, it's what makes Wikipedia so good. But I didn't realize how thorough people were, so how reliable they were. And there's lots of interviews or small things I did in newspapers long ago that I always thought, well, that'll be lost to the sands of time. No one will ever think about that. And no, they've dug it up. We spoke
about the fact that your name Matthew was on there, which you'd hope was buried in the sands of time.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, I thought that would be lost forever, but then they found that, and then I thought, well, the cat's out of the bag, and so I've spoken about it now on TV and stuff, but it's
but we got the exclusive. I like to think here on the Dr.
Yes, no, you do have the exclusive, and I actually can see if you go on Wikipedia, you can see that it links to your show.
Yeah. Again, that has never happened in the history of the Dr. Squee show. We're now a point of reference, and the really funny thing is that there are newspapers, namely the Daily Mail, but I believe some others, which are no longer considered an acceptable source for Wikipedia because of misinformation in them. That's really? One of our national newspapers, and they don't seem to see this as a point of shame.
Really?
Genuinely
true. I guess it's not surprising given how there's a lot of spurious information, and there are a lot of headlines, I imagine, where the word allegedly or possibly or may is carrying quite a lot of weight in the headline. And I'm not going to even get into the American thing. Yeah. So it's just the headlines which aren't being printed. But anyway, let's not get that. Taskmaster, of course, I want to talk a bit more about. So what are the tasks? As I know every Taskmaster contestant has one or two. What are the tasks which keep you awake at night, which you think back on and they're awful, and which ones were the ones you kind of in moments of joy and celebration you think of them? Oh, that's a really great question. I think, I mean, it's hard to pinpoint just one that haunts you because they all haunt you in a way.
Was there a
It's,
category for you?
It's because I mean when you do the show, and I'm sure everyone watching has done the show, but when you do the show, you'll do the task, and then your time's up, and you go back to the room, and the returning to sit alone in the green room is never a moment of triumph. It's never a moment of victory. It's never it's a lot like the let's go to bed, but before I do, let's run through every social interaction I did where I made a faux pas, or there's a lot of that. There's a lot of like, Christ, why did I do that? Oh, of course I should have done that. So it's hard to.
Ray, has anyone ever talked to you about neurodiversity? Because
I've never heard of it. In fact, at the moment I'm actively fundraising against it. I'm trying to discourage.
Yeah, I put out a call earlier. You might have heard it.
No, but I think the one that I maybe look back on with the most regret, maybe. But it ended up coming out okay in a way. But it's the one where you had to get married. You can't marry Paul, because that was like the first big task I did, and it was on my first day. I just remember I like created this like monstrosity out of the mannequin in the shed, and I sat it on a wheelchair, so that way I could get it to come down the aisle, and then I tied a rope around the wheelchair and I pulled it towards me, and I just remember it got caught on the pews, and it was knocking all the pews over and stuff, and it was just very bleak, sort of yanking this wheelchair towards me while I was knocking all my fake church over, and they got me to follow. They got Karen O'Leary to go before me, and she married her actual girlfriend over Zoom, and it was like this sort of a much more sincere and beautiful celebration. And then then it cut straight to me pulling a wheelchair onto the rope, and it felt that was the one. I just remember panicking a lot, thinking like, oh, do I need to make a cake and stuff, and then the other thing that the other thing is there was a two-parter, and then you had to divorce or break up your marriage. And I did not see that coming when I first got the marriage task, because in my marriage I think I didn't end up getting married. Like I had the bride storm off or something, or like she left with the best man or something, and I didn't realize there'd be a second part to it. But so that's the one that haunts me, I suppose, the most, or the one I wish maybe I'd do differently if I had a second go at it. Though I mean the horror of seeing the wheelchair being yanked into the pews, it is quite funny. So and then I think the main one that I think of as a success was the one where I had to, it was I guess a mini task, but there were lots of envelopes hidden around the room, and all the tasks had like small tasks on them, like clap 10 times, or sing the national anthem, or whatever there was. And then I found a whole bunch of tasks on Paul's body. I got him to take his jacket off, and he was covered in tasks, and the tasks that he was covered in were so much easier than all the other tasks hidden around the room. So then I just did lots and lots of easy ones, and then after I was like, okay, I've definitely found the trick here. That's the one I went back in, and I was like, I think I did win that one.
Yeah, I said to you before, I'll say again, I think definitely I think it's the sense of humor that the British and New Zealand kind of share. The wouldn't take the piss out of yourself, like be very self-deprecating, and I think we share a lot of that. And you were talking about O'Leary there. Well, I was just such a fan of Wellington Paranormal.
Yes,
She was
fantastic
sort of
show.
like in every series. There's usually one person on a New Zealand Taskmaster who I've seen on something or some comedy thing.
Yeah.
You follow enough comedy, you end up like seeing someone,
Yeah.
at least one person from a scene every now and again. So you've built up one per series of Taskmaster over there.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Wellington Paranormal was great. Did you watch much of that one?
Yes, it was a fantastic show. Yeah, I watched it, and Melanie Bracewell, who was on my season of Taskmaster with
Yeah.
me, she also wrote for the show. So there's a few episodes written by her, and she appears in it at least once and maybe twice. But yeah,
I love an idea of a sort of nerdy X-Files. It was just great.
Yeah, yes, it's very funny. And I do think Wellington Paranormal. I think it does sort of capture sort of the quintessential Kiwi humor. I think is in Wellington Paranormal, and when it was sort of defined in that show as sort of underreacting to really big things, like
Yes.
like they're just sort of like quite nonplussed and just going, oh, okay. There was I see the clip a lot, and the Satan is sitting on the throne, like in the mall in the Christmas chair, talking to kids and stuff. And then they go and speak to the guy who was played by a great Wellington comic, the guy who runs the mall or whatever. And they say, you've got Satan there, not Santa. And then they ask him if he's dyslexic. And he's like, oh, yeah. And they're like, oh yeah, I think that's what. And they're just sort of in this like quite chill, normal conversation. Meanwhile, like Satan is like breathing fire on children or something. He's like, terrifying these kids. And yeah, I think it's very very Kiwi thing to just sort of remain reserved. You don't want to be the one to lose your cool. You don't want to be the one to make a scene. You just want to keep calm and carry on kind of.
Well, it's sort of you feel like the whole of New Zealand is a big small town. Like it feels like that vibe of like just. All right, well, we know everything is very predictable around here. Everything that happens is perfectly normal. Oh yeah, there's Satan there. Everything's fine. Don't notice the thing that's making you uncomfortable. Just be very well. I was going to say be very British about it, or be very Kiwi about it. In your case,
so it is British. It is well Kiwi sort of. It's a lot of you don't want to be the one making a scene because then you're drawing attention to yourself. So just let's try, we'll remain calm and just sort of go, oh, okay, what's all this then? And and just act relaxed about it, even though you're dealing with a zombie or a vampire or whatever.
One which I noticed on your stand-up actually, which I was just thinking of. Oh God, I'm going to forget the joke now, but you can tell this really fun joke. And it was very clear, like, say you were nude or something. And then it was like, because I was nude. It was like just the confirmation by your character. Like it was the character not quite having enough confidence to just let the joke write itself. I love little flourishes and little touches like that because it just made repeat basically, or, the explaining the premise. I laughed more at than the joke, and I'd laughed at the joke.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Yes. It is always nice, and I think it happens a lot with other comedians where the bit that they find the funniest is never actually the punchline. It's always like a little aside that they make, or a silly line that does not really get a big laugh at all, or gets something, but it's not the big payoff of the joke. But the bits the comedians always like, I think. Or the bits that I always appreciate the most as well when I watch someone else's sets are like the flourishes, I suppose, the little bits of garnish throughout the set. But yes, it was yes. But you're obviously talking about the bit that I do in the nude, and then I reveal to the crowd. I reveal to the crowd that actually I am naked in front of them right now.
Yeah, I mean, they say the artist standing naked on stage. You just took that very literally that night.
Yes,
Well, I
That-
said it was going to be special.
Yes, that's true. I find it puts the audience at ease for to help them imagine me naked on stage, and
Let me just help you with that.
yeah. But, yes,
It's usually the comedian asking the audience to be a helpful room, not the other way around.
yes, no, yes, no. I need all the help that I can get. That's the difference. That's the power dynamic shifted.
So you, of course, at the moment now, though, where you put the special, you committed it to tape. Do you go straight out with trying to? Are you going with a new hour to Edinburgh?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So, so the show that's currently on YouTube and currently being clipped up and posted under various accounts with my name on it is that was last year's show. And so which is actually I performed it for the last time in the UK earlier this year, which is when and you came to that. I think Southampton was the second to last time I ever did the show, I think.
I did this near the end. Yeah,
it was definitely close to the end because Cambridge was the final one. It was I guess in my mind it's last year's show. And so right now I have, even actually as I was in the UK when you saw me, I had this new show kind of already, or had written it, and I had done it in Perth about eight times, I think. So I at the very least had the bones of it ready, or most of it, bits of it chopped and changed and stuff. But yeah, I'm currently touring a new show. So the Australian, I guess in my brain, the Australian new show, the new show date starts in Australia in January of that year, and then I try run it. Yeah, I try tour all around Australia and Edinburgh throughout that year, and then I take it to the UK, I guess, for one last hurrah in the early months of the year after. But while I'm in the UK doing the old show, in my head I've got a new show slowly, or that's hopefully come together, or still needs to be tweaked a little bit and stuff. And so I can't. I mean, I don't know if I'm supposed to. Well, who knows? It probably doesn't matter. But if you've noticed a pattern in my touring schedule, you may expect me to come to the UK in early next year again, which could be quite likely.
Hey, I'll be sure to come out if you do. And that sounded more threatening than I intended it. That's a good thing, hopefully. One thing I did need to talk to you about, with everything happening in the news, your previous Prime Minister, that's the correct time, your Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern.
Obviously, I've sworn allegiance to King Charles III, but yes, the Prime Minister's the head of state. Yeah,
I'd say. She's on this. I think it was Pod Save the World on the this Pod Save America. No, Pod Save the UK. Is it just me, or is she being aggressively New Zealand? Like she I swear her accent has deepened. She she was going so far down the back of her throat to say some words. I think she's trying to prove a point now. It's like, look, I beat COVID. I'm going to beat this guy, and hear my accent.
Well, I was thinking, God, she sounds normal, but everyone around her is speaking so bizarrely with their cartoonish and silly accents and their correct vowel pronunciations. It's all.
I'm not dissing the pronunciation. I'm just saying she's doing more of it. I swear. It's like it might have just been she was in a script which was heavy with them. I don't know.
Yeah. Yes, I must say I'm not very good at picking up on accents. I don't think. My ear doesn't see race, but I don't hear race. I don't hear it. I don't hear race. Yeah.
For some reason, the only one I can think of, because we're talking about it, but I've just been watching. I started watching back I finished watching all the UK Taskmaster, so I started on New Zealand ones again, and it's the only word I can think of for some reason. Is just the way they say Taskmaster. It's Taskmaster. It's like,
Taskmaster.
Yeah,
Am
yeah.
I
That's,
doing?
that's
Am
one.
I, am I doing it? Am I doing it the New Zealand? I mean, I must be doing it, saying it the New Zealand way, right? When I say taskmaster.
That sounds very UK. Like it's just
Oh yeah.
Jeremy Watts does like
Oh yeah. Yeah.
he's got that twang to it, and I know some of them. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true. I know what you're saying. Not all New
Yeah.
Zealanders. I know.
But
Hashtag not
yes,
all New Zealanders says
yes,
Frey.
but yeah, I must say the accent. I find it hard to pick up on the New Zealand accent unless someone not from New Zealand does an impression of us, and then I'm like, oh Christ, is that what we sound like?
That wasn't meant as a diss.
No. This is my own internalized shame about being a New Zealander.
Yeah, this
When I
is
hear,
my turn life kill. So
yeah,
kill me.
exactly. 100%. Yes, I mean I was raised Catholic, and I feel like the New Zealand accent is my original sin, and but because in New Zealand you grow up with a disdain towards Australia. You know, like they're our sporting rivals, they're our closest neighbor. You know, there's like a friendly but still genuine rivalry.
Well,
With
it's a
them.
sibling rivalry, much like Canada and America. Sorry, bad example. Sorry.
Yes, yes. Well, yes, and we're hoping to make Australia our second state, but
Make Australia great again.
yes, exactly. But yeah, you grow up with some disdain for Australia, I suppose, and then you hear people attempt to do a New Zealand accent, and to me, it always sounds like Australian, but stupider. Even like like really like Australian, but even like more redneck. Or so I don't know how to describe it. Like, oh Christ, is that what we sound like? So I don't normally pick up on the New Zealand accent unless I hear impressions of it, or I hear a New Zealander talk to an American. But even then, normally the opposite happens, where it just makes me realize, oh, how American the other person sounds. You know, like it does. Where I'm like, oh, this person's talking normally, and this other person who I used to think, you know, had a regular normal accent. Now I realize they've got this crazy Yankee accent, and they sound ridiculous. But it's interesting you say that Jacinda sounds more Kiwi than ever, because
Yeah.
if anything, her book in New Zealand has some people have criticized it because the book is clearly not aimed at New Zealanders. Like it's clearly written with an American audience in mind, which makes sense.
Dialing up the accent, do you think? For the
Maybe she's dialing it up to differentiate herself, or to make herself seem more exotic in America. But
I'm starting to buy this.
But I've seen people sort of, like in the book, she'll describe a small town in New Zealand that if you're from New Zealand, everyone knows where it is, everyone knows that town. But she'll describe where it is, and I think she might even use like American. I don't know. No, she doesn't. I don't think she uses American measurements, but maybe she says high school instead of secondary school. And there's sort of little word changes that she uses Americanisms rather than the New Zealand words. There's little shibboleths, I suppose I think is the word you say that she fails.
Word for that. Quite literally, I'll take your word for that.
It's a word. It's you either say it. I learned about it from watching The West Wing, but it's a word. It means it's shibboleth or sibboleth. I forget. But the point is that the idea was that it's from I think biblical time, and one tribe would say the word one way, and one tribe would say the word the other way, and so saying the word sort of acted, I think, as a way of marking where you were from, and so if you pronounced it differently, it helped identify. It made you realize, made people think, oh, you're an outsider. And I suppose there's just some writings, some of the ways that Jacinda's writing in her book apparently suggests that, she's not writing it with a New Zealand audience in mind.
Well, the funny thing is, like, people do talk about code switching. It sounds like when she's appealing to it, I genuinely now think she's putting that, because because during COVID and everything, she was in every conversation they referred to New Zealand, how she wouldn't accept any deaths. She was on TV enough that I've heard her voice. Anyway,
yes.
That controversy aside, though, what we've established today is Ray O'Leary, you hate charities, public nudity, you're good with, and you're against you want the extinction of the Australian race. I'm like, is this the thing that gets you cancelled? Is what I'm thinking.
Those I would say those are three accurate summaries of my views, and I'm willing to endorse and sign off on them right now. Unfortunately, please edit that together. Please let it be known.
Suddenly you're getting emails from Musk going, look, can I support you in your bid for Prime Minister? I shouldn't laugh at this. It's not good.
Yeah.
Anyway, right, before we let you go, we're asking everyone how they think different.
Oh, that's a great that's a great question. I like to think I think I definitely remember having a friend say to me that they thought me studying philosophy may have made me neurodivergent because and I think that they said I'm sure you were like this in high school or secondary school, but now you've come out of university and the way you approach the world is differently. So I don't know if it's a great example, but I think from studying philosophy, I do think I have maybe hopefully a more analytic mind, or I break things down more, or I think more about the argument and that people make, and I'm able to hopefully I guess pull the world apart and reassemble it, which I think is helpful for comedy.
Well, I never try and tell anyone they're neurodivergent, but I see a lot of similar traits in you that I see in myself, and it's.
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying loud and clear. It's a diagnosis as far as I'm concerned.
Pretty well. I mean, I am a doctor of podcasting, so I should know. Yeah, but no, it's there are certain people I just find are naturally more comfortable and good to be around, kind of because their energy. That's kind of something which I pick up. I'm aware I pick up on it a lot now. And thank you for always being positive on it. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. And gonna have to do this again a third time because this is just fun.
Please.
I can't wait until you come and visit again.
Yes, no. Thank you so much for having me, and great, and thank you so much for doing the stream. It's such a noble cause, and good luck trying to do the full time. You're a madman.
Oh yeah, this has been established long since. Oh, and by the way, oh damn it, I've lost the thread of what I was going to say. No, it is completely good.
I think it was it was a string of compliments just for me.
I might have had a stroke. I mean, I'm not sure at this stage. But it's been lovely having you on. Oh, by the way, yes, that was it. One of the people I messaged, he was very kind enough to message me back. Say unfortunately wasn't available because he's going over there to the Fringe. Is Tom Cashman from
Tom Cashman? Yes.
So when you see him, if you could just say to him, just slap him around the face and go, "This is from Squeefest," and just no, say hi from us.
I'll say you've made a very powerful enemy.
Power less. Let's not oversell it. And power less might be overselling it. I'm lower down than that on the tone.
Yes, no, I'll leave a horse's head in Tom Cashman's bed or something. Don't you worry.
I mean, I think only Australia could have a bloke from down the pub vibes as their Taskmaster's assistant, and it works perfectly for them. He's great.
No, he is great.
It's such a different vibe than the other assistants.
Yes, no, he's a phenomenal comic. Yes, actually, while I will be in Edinburgh Fringe, I'll be staying with Paul Williams actually, because he'll be doing the Edinburgh Fringe as well. And they have. I mean, I don't think this is spoilers, but they've just finished filming the 6th season of New Zealand Taskmaster, and last time I was in Edinburgh, they were releasing. The episodes were airing, so hopefully I'll be able to watch the latest season of Taskmaster as it comes out with the assistant himself. So.
Yeah, that's it. Awesome. Enjoy. Thank you for coming on again, my friend, and I'll speak to you soon.
No, thank you so much. Thank you. Good luck for the rest of the stream.
Take care, mate. Speak soon.
Bye.
So we hope you enjoyed this week's interview. As I said before, I won't know what it is. Thanks, guys. I'm Dr. Squee. That was my show. And until next we meet, in a world where you can be truly anything, please live like you've got 2 hearts and be kind.